Peace and love, you beautiful miracles of spiritual level of being. Nathan here from a spiritual level of being, and you have a spiritual level of being. And today, let's do the secret teachings of Jesus part 3. Now, Jesus knew his teachings would be controversial, that it would turn families against their own family members, their friends against their friends. So he was encouraging people to fast from the system, to fast from politics, from the religious leaders, to not put all your faith and trust in them. You can find this in the Gospel of Thomas. Let me explain this. Now this is saying 42. Become passers-by. Now, his disciples said to him, "Who are you that you should say these things to us?" Jesus said to them, "You do not realize who I am from what I say to you, but you have become like the Jews, for they either love the tree and hate its fruit, or love the fruit and hate the tree." Now, this is referring to as the fruit as spirituality and the tree is religion. So he's saying fast from the idea of this. Become passers-by, embrace the spirituality side of things. Now, let's continue. Now, saying 39, Jesus said, "The Pharisees and the scribes have taken the keys of knowledge, gnosis, spiritual knowledge, and hidden them. They themselves have not entered, nor have they allowed to enter those who wish to. You, however, be as wise as serpents and as innocent as doves." So be innocent and be aware of their trickery. So don't put all your faith in them. So being more independent. So Jesus here is embracing a more independent spiritual path. Now we continue here in saying 74. He said, "O Lord, there are many around the drinking trough, but there is nothing in the cistern." So there's many of these people in the religion, but they're not getting anything out of the spirituality. So they're not embracing the spiritual side of things. So they're only following someone else's teaching, not embracing the independent path. So not having their own personal relationship with God, with the divine. This is what Jesus is encouraging. Now here, saying 81, Jesus said, "Let him who has grown rich be king, and let him who possesses power renounce it." So this means one who's come into power, let it go. So in other words, the kingdom of heaven is within you, that you don't need riches, rather the true treasure is within, the soul, the spirit. Now, in that saying, Jesus is also encouraging one to have a more simple life. So being in the present moment, not desiring. So in other words, being in control of desire, greed. So embracing a path of unconditional love, one of a personal relationship with the divine, not with rituals or material things. So rather embracing the kingdom of heaven. So helping others. So renouncing the political side of things, the power side of things, not thirsting for control, but rather a path of unconditional love. Now here, Jesus is talking about the soul being the treasure. Saying 29, Jesus said, "If the flesh came into being because of the spirit, it is a wonder. But if the spirit came into being because of the body, it is a wonder of wonders. Indeed, I am amazed at how this great wealth has made its home in this poverty." Now the soul is a piece of God within you. So we are one but many. God is all life around us. The kingdom of heaven is within us. It's all around us. So being in the present moment, a path of love. Now, this also means knowing yourself. So developing yourself, progressing yourself to be like Christ yourself. Now, saying 106, Jesus said, "When you make the two in one, you'll become the sons of man. And when you say mountain, move away, it will move away." So the Son of Man, Christ was called the Son of Man. So this is the Son of Man being within you to achieve it for yourself. And the obstacles in life will move, as they won't burden you, as things that used to control you will not control you in life. As you've become a new person, you've become the true version of you, the inner goodness. You've become like Christ yourself. So you're your own savior, you're your own master. So you're in control of your emotions, not the other way around. Now here's another saying in 108 from the Gospel of Thomas still. Jesus said, "He who will drink from my mouth will become like me. I myself shall become he, and the things that are hidden will be revealed to him." So again, this is being like Christ, doing what he does. So he becomes like you. So you're doing things that he would do. So again, achieving your inner Christ, being like Christ yourself. It's like the context of Buddhism. Be like Buddha yourself. If you want to know Buddha, seek from within. It's the same from Christ. If you want to know Christ, seek from within. Now, Jesus also understood only a limited few would understand his message. So other people would be turned against their friends, family against family, as his teachings would be controversial. So he would speak privately with his disciples to tell them the true mystery. So the ones who truly understand or understood the spiritual teachings. So here, we have here saying 23, I shall choose you 1 out of 1,000 and 2 out of 10,000, and they shall stand as a single one. So realizing that we are all one. We are one but many. So we are all God, one with God. We collectively make up the single mind of God. Now, let's go to saying 62. Jesus said, it is to those who are worthy of my mysteries that I will tell my mysteries. Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. So those who will understand. And this here being meaning with don't tell the left hand what the right hand is doing, meaning don't tell those who are not ready to understand this, as they will persecute you. Now, Jesus said in saying 66, Jesus said, show me the stone which the builders have rejected. That one is the cornerstone. So the ones who understand this will be rejected. So he's saying here the ones who truly understand will be rejected from the political leaders. So again, don't put all your faith in them. So embrace a more spiritual path as God is within you. So you can be like Christ yourself. So he's trying to encourage others to be more independent, to have their own personal relationship with the divine, to be more spiritual. Now, during the time of Jesus, there were many different factions of Jews. You had the Essenes, which there were different varieties of Essenes. You had the Pharisees, the Sadducees. You had Zealot Jews. Now, you also had Samaritan Jews, which the Pharisees and Sadducees refused to interact with. Now, Jesus, what made him so special was that he had a unique message. This is why they called him blasphemous, and why he had so many different factions following him, as he embraced a more universal spiritual path. Now here in saying 17, Jesus said, I shall give you what no eye has seen, and what no ear has heard, and what no hand has touched, and what has never occurred to the human mind. So he was one of the only people speaking this type of message, as it was dangerous, and his mindset was unique for his time. He was ahead of his time. Now here on saying 38, Jesus said, many times have you desired to hear these words, which I am saying to you, and what you have no one else to hear them from. There will be days when you will look for me and will not find me. Now, again, this is saying that he's the only one speaking this type of message. So if he wasn't here, you wouldn't find anyone else. So there's going to be days you're going to be searching for him. And because he's the only one speaking this message, you won't find it anywhere else. Now, during the times of Jesus, people were more violent. So Jesus was encouraging others to change their life around. And ones that did, he said that they were blessed because they suffered and found life. And you'll find this in saying 58. Jesus said, blessed is the man who has suffered and found life. So the transformation, the rebirth, the resurrection. So becoming like Christ themselves. So now they're no longer doing the old things that used to control them, the shitty actions. No longer acting out of ignorance, as their path is now unconditional love. Now, this also means that despite their suffering, they have now found a reason to live, but not just for their sake. They're now giving reason for someone else to live. So your kind action can be someone else's miracle. So again, be like Christ. Now let's go to saying 64. Jesus said, a man had received visitors, and when he had prepared the dinner, he sent his servant to invite the guest. He went to the first one and said to him, my master invites you. He said, I have claims against some merchants. They are coming to me this evening. I must go and give them my orders. I ask to be excused from the dinner. He went to another and said to him, My master has invited you. He said to him, I have just bought a house and am required for the day. I shall not have any spare time. He went to another and said to him, My master invites you. He said to him, My friend is going to get married, and I am to prepare the banquet. I shall not be able to come. I ask to be excused from the dinner. He went to another and said to him, My master invites you. He said to him, I have just bought a farm, and I am on my way to collect the rent. I shall not be able to come. I ask to be excused. The servant returned and said to his master, Those whom you invited to the dinner have asked to be excused. The master said to his servant, Go outside to the streets and bring back those whom you happen to meet, so that they may dine. Businessmen and merchants will not enter the places of my Father. Now, this basically means people not making time for the spirituality side of things, not being spiritual, rather following the religion. So following the rules, the dogma, following the priest. So they're not able to actually enjoy the spirituality that's within, the spiritual knowledge, the divine path, the personal relationship with God, with the divine. Now, again, this is looking outside of yourself, so not seeking from within. So Jesus is basically encouraging to seek from within, to not blindly follow. Again, a more individual spiritual path. Let's go to saying 40. Jesus said, A grapevine has been planted outside of the Father, but being unsound, it will be pulled up by its roots and destroyed. Now, this is referring to the religion has gone outside of its true core teaching of the Father, of God. Now, again, this is referring to the spirituality being taken away. So the religion will eventually crumble without its spirituality. So this is, again, what Jesus is referring to, being more spiritual, not blindly following religion, but rather being more universal. Now, in the Bible, we have Jesus saying in Matthew 5:17 that, Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Now, this meaning that he's not here to destroy their religion, but to sway its movement more spiritually. So to be more understanding, to seek God from within, spiritually. So to be like Christ themselves, to be the Messiah themselves, their own Saviour. So the Son of Man, that they are all the sons of God, that we are all God, that we are all one with God. So he had a path of spirituality that he was trying to encourage, which was very dangerous at his time, which is why the Pharisees were saying blasphemy. Now, Jesus was trying to encourage a more spiritual path, saying that don't place your full-on trust in the Pharisees, as the kingdom of heaven is within you. Now, this is found in the Gospel of Thomas. Jesus said, If those who lead you say to you, See, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you, so they'll get there first. If they say to you, It is in the sea, then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you, so all around you. When you have come to know yourselves, then you'll become known, and you'll realize that it is you who are the sons of the living Father, that we are all the sons of God, that we are all the sons and daughters of the living Father, of God. So, again, a more individual spiritual path. So peace and love, everyone. I love you all. Connect to my mind and soul. Namaste.